Hey YouTube, I'm back, and today is Throwback Thursday, and we're going to be going over the Power of the Force AT-AT. This came out back in '97. It was a good time for me. This is when I got most of my Star Wars stuff when I was a kid, and I mean it was the best time for toys, and probably as my childhood because it came out with so many Star Wars figures with the Power of the Force stuff, and they're bringing back the original trilogy, getting ready for episode 1. But this was one of my big toys, and I actually kept the box way back when I was a little kid. So at that point, I'm already, full collecting if I kept the box and all its contents inside. I mean, the box is still mint. I got all the parts. Obviously, I was a collector when I was little. But this thing retailed about $80. I remember walking into Walmart and pointing it out to my mom. And lo and behold, on Christmas, it was under the tree, which was amazing. This thing came with 2 exclusive figures. You get an AT-AT driver and an AT-AT commander. I believe the commander is General Veers. I mean, he looks exactly like him, so I don't know why they just didn't put General Veers. Anyways, it does 7 different movie sounds. It has like a little holographic picture of Vader, and I believe it's the power generator that they're trying to hit on Hoth, and they kind of light up whenever you hit the button. It does have the firing rockets, and the chin blasters do make sounds. It does make sounds like with the walker walking and shooting its lasers, and I think there's one of even it crushing a snowspeeder. But anyways, this is one of the bigger vehicles, so let's open it up and let's take a look and see what we get. Let's see. I obviously retaped it when I was little, so I don't want to mess up the box. After all, I spent a lot of time keeping it together. Oh man, I even kept it mint. Even all the little pieces in there. I even got the original cardboard in there. I haven't opened this up in quite some time, so I'm sure all the pieces are still there. Alright, I kept all the legs in the bottom part. Here are the exclusive figures. So we got those, mint condition, some legs, the door, got another set of legs in here. Wow, look at that cardboard still intact. That's cool. Alright. Again, it does show all the features back here too. The chin firing blasters, the rocket firing side blasters. You can put the Luke Skywalker figure, and it has a little harpoon with the thing so you can roll them up. The head does move. It's a little different than the newer style AT-AT. This one you actually have to stick your hand inside that and then move it around, which is a little weird. It does have a cockpit for only 2 figures on this one. Again, this is based off the vintage one back in the 80s, so they just they colored it. There's a little better coloring and a little more detail on it, and that's really all that changed. So let's put it together and take a look. All right, so here are all the parts. The only thing I did notice is I looked in the box and I don't see it, but I don't think I kept the instructions, which is kind of sad because it would have been totally complete. But it does not look like I kept the instructions, but that's okay, we can figure it out. So you get 2 bags of legs and a door, and then you get all the firing blasters and the rockets and the cap, and then the 2 figures. If I do find those instructions, I'm going to be pretty happy. That's it. I don't think they're not in the box. So let's go ahead and take the door. I'm not sure this was the original bag. I think it was though. Alright, so you get 2 rockets, the little armor pieces, and the side cannons, and then the cockpit. Here's the 2 main action figures that came with it. Here's General Veers. I'll get a close-up shot of that here in a little bit. And then here's the AT-AT driver. I did read that there was a carded figure for Power of the Force, and it was for some reason taller, or was it the other way around? But one of the carded figures, or the ones that came in here, was a little taller, so I'm not sure what that was all about. Alright, so let's put this bad boy together. I think I'm going to start off with the good old legs. They kind of slide in the bottom here, and then you slide them into here. Snap. There's 1. Let's put this together this side. There's 2. And the other side here. There's 3. And there's 4. Now this one is really loud when you move the leg, remember that. The
new AT-AT is definitely a lot smoother. Getting all the legs where you want them. Let's see. Stand it up here. So I got one. Oh, it's a little wobbly. There we got a wobbly leg. Alright, so that's in there. Here's that thing. Alright, let's put the side door on. That just kind of bends in there. Just closes like that. I'm not sure you guys can still see. Yeah. There we go. The door in there. Flip it around here. Let's get some blasters on. So that the little shield goes on the side. I think you just push that in. Shield side. Alright, let me try to stack on this side here. There we go. This one goes on this side. Come on, there we go. Don't break the thing. And then it's got its little cockpit canopy. That just kind of bends in. Got the rockets. The rockets on the side. Alright. Put these guys in there. Alright, you can only put 2 figures in here. The driver. Remember in the movie there was 2 drivers, not just 1.
Oh yeah, that's looking good. Let's get all the trash out of the way. Show some of the features of this thing. Get a little closer here. Alright, now here's the inside of it. Let's see if I can get a good shot of it in there. Let me see if I can zoom in. There we go. There's the inside of it. Now here are those buttons in there. Oh, look at that. Still works. Oh my gosh. I haven't put batteries in here and wow. Oh, I think that's when it smashes the splitter. There's the lasers. I can't believe this thing still works. That's amazing. Oh, there's the light up hologram.
Yes, Lord Vader. I've reached the main power generators. The shield will be down in moments. You may start your landing.
I don't know if that's the batteries, but General Veers sounds like he just sucked in a balloon. He sounds funny.
All troops will debark for ground assault. Distance to power generators, 17.28.
Oh, that's cool.
Target maximum firepower.
Oh. That's cool.
Yes, Lord
I can't
Vader.
believe
I've
that
reached
still
the main
works.
power generators. The shield will be down in moments. You may start your landing.
Sounds a little more like Anthony Daniels, like C-3PO. Doesn't sound like General Veers. You can put General Veers in there. Get in there, bud. Hitting some buttons. Watching.
All troops will debark for ground assault. Distance to power generators, 17.28.
Alright, and here inside, I don't know if you can turn around and look. I could be wrong. I don't remember if the vintage one did this, but here's the little lever to move the head back and forth. It's a little weird because it's inside of it. Let me back out a little bit here. So if I stick my hand in there, here you see you can move it around. I think you can move it up. It goes up. Oh yeah, if you push the thing in, it goes up. Moves it around a little bit. That's kind of cool. I don't know if you can see that inside here. Yeah, you see the little lever in there. It's used to push it in and out. There's a little more detail in the back. And the legs. I don't have a vintage one to kind of compare and see the detail difference. Just by looking at the ones I've seen, like in some of the stores and the collector's sites, the color definitely, there was none of the, I guess the little gray marks here that act like wear and tear on it. They definitely didn't have those. The legs didn't have the wear marks on them. I think it was a lighter gray too. This has more of like a, almost like a sandy finish. I don't know if you can see all these little dots in here. I don't know if they're trying to go for like a wear look. But you can fit quite a few stormtroopers in there, which is cool. I always packed them up and put some stormtroopers in there. What I like to do when I was little is I used to put a stormtrooper and have his gun sticking out, his blaster. So it looks like he's shooting undercover. I had a lot of good times doing that. Alright, under here is the... Close this up. Under here is the little the harpoon that Luke uses to go up. And the mechanism is basically just a counterweight on the other side that you pull up. And then, you know, he would be under here. There's no little hidden door or anything under there. It's basically just the bottom of it. It's nothing special. I know on the newer AT that they released a couple years ago, it has a little compartment down there, but here is just the bottom of it. It's nothing special. Alright, let's look at the front here. And here's the head. As you see, one of my stickers is kind of coming off. And it does have the, I don't know if these still work. Wow. That's cool. I can't believe this still works. So it still does the lasers still move up in the side. Let's see if it still shoots. I think you just push it back. Oh, shot the camera. It's shooting. Alright. There's the AT-AT driver. It's, you know, it's decent for the power of the force. Everyone had that muscular build, really buff on the top. There's some details of that on the side. Looks pretty good. Again, there was someone stating that the carded figure was either shorter or taller than this one. Here's General Veers, AT-AT Commander, whatever you want to call him. I mean, he clearly looks like General Veers, so I want to go with General Veers. That's pretty sweet. Here's it closed. Look at a little side shot here. The head. Again, it still has a lot of weathering on it. It has little side things here, like little vents. Now these do light up in the bottom. Ooh, it's a little rough in the sides there. Alright, so that is my review. My Throwback Thursday. Back to the Power of the Force 1990s vintage line. I guess it's vintage now. Jeez, I sound super old. 90s being vintage. Again, this was the re-release. It looks, I think it's the same size as the vintage one. They did come out with a bigger version a couple of years ago. And as a comparison, I can show you the difference of how big that one is. Because I just happen to have it over here. Get it here real quick. Just as a size comparison. Yeah, it's pretty big. It went all out in this one. I mean, look how big it is. It's like a baby. I mean, it's just massive. Can't even fit it in the shot. I mean, it's massive, and that's cool. I like that they actually decided to go bigger. I mean, look at that. Look at the size of that compared to the newer one. It just almost makes it even look, I mean, it makes it look way better. Alright, so that's my review, guys. Again, that was Throwback Thursday. Next week, I'll figure out what we're going to go through. Maybe we'll go take it back to the original toys back in the 70s and 80s. I do have some that obviously have been already unboxed, so it doesn't hurt any of the value as long as we don't tear those boxes up. So, subscribe to my channel. I'll be unboxing some other toys. I got a lot of Lego videos lined up here in a little bit, and we'll be going over all the Lego stuff that I've picked up. Subscribe, like my videos. Happy Thursday, and hope you guys have a wonderful day and enjoy Star Wars for what it is. See ya.